at 5. Well, it's not 5. It's not anywhere near 5. But we're live at 5. We're on the road. Well, we're live on 5, on 95. All right, man, that works. Something like that. We're headed out to Roxboro Motorsports Park down there in North Carolina. I say at least today it's a beautiful day, a little warm, but we're heading on down there for the next no prep race that I'm throwing, and that's going to be this weekend, Roxboro Motorsports Park, Friday, Saturday. You guys know the deal. Marty, what's up? Glenn, what's up, Matt? Can you guys hear me all right? I'm live in the car, and I got the phone set up, but I'm using the old AirPods. Good day, good day. Well, catching a live while at work. What's up? What's up? We're on the road. Daniel, what's going on, guys? All right, y'all are tuning in. I see you. 5x5 sounds good. All right, cool, cool. So the headphones are working. Yeah, we're headed down to North Carolina, Roxboro Motorsports Park, and unfortunately, I don't know if you guys can tell by how easily Pepper is riding. Um, keep driving until it says "Welcome to Texas." Derek, I can tell you this: I am this close to packing all my stuff up. I'll put it this way: last night I looked at the GPS and was like, "How far is it to your address?" Because I have your address. I shipped things there before, and I was like, "How far is it?" And it's like 21 hours, I think. I think was the deal. 21 hours to get to where you're at in Texas. The problem is, everybody's slamming on their brakes right now. Um, problem is, if I take all my stuff all the way down there, and then what happens if I need something? Hopefully, we'd be able to find it in that area. I don't know what's going on here, but this left lane jammed up. Do it. You say that until I'm sleeping on your couch for 2 weeks, and all we're doing is working on some piece of crap twin turbo race car, trying to make it happy. It's all fun and games until I pop up on you one day like that. But back what I was saying, we're headed to North Carolina. We got Friday, Saturday. Friday, the Snake Eater Shakedown, presented by Snake Eater Performance. That's free $500, no buy-in. So everyone's saying good luck. I'll tell you, unfortunately, I don't have the car. Summit's 30 from. Oh man, see now you're tempting me. I don't have the car with me this weekend, and let me get through the announcement of the race this weekend and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll go into why I don't have the car with me and what's going on. Right. So Friday night we're doing a Snake Eater Shakedown. 500 to win, no buy-in. Also, Friday night, I've added something special. Friday night, we're going to do Pizza with the King. Pizza with the King. Um, sorry, I interrupted you. You're just giving me bad ideas. Um, what I did, I decided that I wanted to hang out, and I wanted to be able to hang out, you know, talk to the racers, talk to the spectators, whoever comes. Usually, when I throw an event, especially if I'm throwing it and trying to race in it, it's a nightmare. It's brutal. Just so many things to do, everything, and it takes some really good help. Which unfortunately, this weekend I'm also shorthanded, which is part of the reason why. But we're gonna do Pizza with the King. I ordered a bunch of pizzas, and it's free. So if you guys are in the area of Roxboro Motorsports Park Friday night, I think it's going to be about 6 o'clock. I got the delivery set up for, but I ordered a bunch of pizzas. We're going to have Pizza with the King. Not going to cost nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just giving away some free pizza. I want pizza, and I feel like everybody else would want pizza too. Can you turn that down a little bit, Meatball? I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, So we got that going on. And then Saturday, we've got all the classes. We got pro classes, the FM Pro Mod, the small block nitrous class, and then we've got all the shipbox classes. And that is the shipbox showdown, tailgate trouble, granny shifting, and can't afford a power adder, aka the all motor class. Plus, because we're going to Roxboro and it's a nice, nice facility, they've got everything set up. We're going to run 7.0 and 8.0 index too, but it's going to be no prep and on an instant green. So should be a little bit different than I think some guys are used to. That's anybody who's used to racing that kind of index stuff. But that's where we're headed now. And I'm sitting in traffic. I don't know. Everything was good. We were rolling, and now, of course, it's traffic. That's just the way life goes. But it's not super far away. It's probably the closest racetrack that I'll end up going to this year. So that's good news. Now, on to the next order of business. Talking about the car. So the way it worked out this week, Mallory had some traveling to do. It was just me and Meatball at home kicking it. And I had work to do. I had stuff to do to get ready to prepare for the event itself. You know what I mean? Shipbox orders, all that kind of stuff. And I just wasn't able to get the car finished. It came to a point where I was going to have to try to rush some stuff on the car. And I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling, rushing and doing that kind of stuff. On top of which, you guys may not know this, but especially with the new engine in it now, we're pretty much starting from square zero with the tuning aspect of it. So it just didn't make a lot of sense to me to bring the car. And I don't have, like the last event, I had a flagger for Friday night. I don't have a flagger for Friday night. It's me. Well, it was supposed to be me, but I got somebody so I could, so I can go ahead and race. I don't have that plan set up this weekend. So I'm going to be flagging. I'm going to be on the light doing a damn thing. And just didn't want to stress. I didn't want to be rushing. I've been rushing nonstop. You know what I mean? Like crazy. And I just don't think that there's any need. Can I bring my circle track car and I don't give a shit. If you think it'll go down the track, go for it. That brings up dig or die. Because I see somebody talking about $100,000. Which that's not a guaranteed $100,000. That's if all of the cars show up, which the one thing I will guarantee you is they may have a list of 125 cars or something. 125 cars are not showing up. That's neither here nor there. That's racing. That's the way it works. That's just the way it always goes. But next week is dig or die, and I'm on the fence. Sorry, Polish, not Russian. Yeah, yep. I felt Russian here lately. I'm on the fence with dig or die. Now, the reason I say that is because dig or die, man, them dig or die weekends are, whew, those are rough ones. Usually, we'll street race beforehand, and then the event, and it's a nice long weekend. It's definitely a good time, but it is crazy hectic and super super expensive. The buy-in is yep. The buy-in to dig or die is 500 plus on the street anywhere from 200 to 300. I mean, you're going to spend close to $1,000 just in buy-ins that weekend. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, we don't have a car that is currently competitive enough to be doing that. It's, you know what I mean? There's no car is ready first, but Camaro. Yeah, all the Nova videos are older videos, but have no fear, we might be doing something with the Nova here shortly. But like I was saying, I mean, that's a lot of money to be throwing out in buy-ins to not be ready. I think if we took that money and put it into the car, or just put it into, even if I just test on the street at home over and over and over again until we get that thing lined out much better and get the car further along, that's going to allow us to be more competitive in the future. So I'm really on the fence. I don't know. It's life. Anything can happen. We can go out here in North Carolina. We could have a bang up weekend. We could have a great time. We can sell a million T-shirts and everything, and I could come home and be like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go to Dig or Die. And that's not gonna do it. But we still have the same car that probably, round one would be a miracle, but depends on how I'm feeling. I honestly think we're gonna keep it. Um, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it home. I don't think I'm gonna end up going to Dig or Die. So it's just too much in a buy-in for a car that isn't ready yet. I think it does a disservice to us to be bringing it out there, and then to you guys as subscribers. Like, no offense, there's gonna be 700 videos. Die to film it, try to race it, spend a bunch of money, and maybe go out round one and then just film the rest of the race. Well, there's already a million race videos, so man, am I stuck in traffic in North Carolina? No, in Virginia. How Latimer's turnout, not done yet. They're on the car, but I got the parts. What was it, yesterday? I think, or the day before, to make the diagonal bar. But I still need to make the diagonal bar and all that to make it work. No, I am not going back to Ohio. So the best thing you have is the Nova and the big block. No, incredibly wrong. The twin turbo LS will destroy that big block. Make sure you go hit that like button. Thank you, Glenn. So that's what we got going on, guys. I do have also, there's some secret squirrel stuff going on in the background. I've been working on some other things that will be coming to. Is it reconnected? I think. But anyways, like I was saying, we might be doing a little. Give you a little tidbit. We might be doing a little bit of expansion. Be a good way to put it. So that's been going on in the background too. Been working on. Me. I'm always 10 things at once. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes in this life. So I did. It's funny. Derek was talking earlier about come down to Texas. Like, I looked at that. I was thinking possibly you're in and out with your connection. Yeah, I was thinking possibly that it could be incredibly beneficial to go to Texas because right now Derek is tuning the Camaro, and we're doing it all through. Um, I was gonna say virtual, like it's not virtual learning, but we're doing it all remotely. You know what I mean? He's logging in. I'm sending him files. I'm sending him data logs. I'm sending him videos, which we haven't even started any kind of, chassis tuning really whatsoever, just because we didn't have we didn't really have anything to change. The front shocks, I had them mixed out and they just weren't doing anything. So now we've got double adjustable coilovers up front, a decent set of Vikings. Is it the end all be all of what shock is going to be on the car? I don't think so. I think I still want to move the position of the shock and some other stuff, but at least now we're going to have control of it. How much pepper's in your cooling system? I don't know, but this thing is right at just under 210, and it is, according to this thing, 91 degrees outside. So we ain't got no leaks. We got some coolant. We got a whole lot of pepper, but it's working. And I've already made this trip to North Carolina last weekend. and I went out and saw Nick and all that. But anyway, like I was saying, it could be beneficial to go out to Texas, and that was one of the things that I thought about. Was like, well, if I'm going to save money on the trip by not going to Dig or Die, can I get the car farther along? Can I advance the racing program? You know, how far can I advance the racing program? What can I do? All that stuff. Oh my goodness. No, Billy was just wearing my damn t-shirt like a week ago. Me and Billy did not get into it. Man, y'all kill me with these damn comments. VA in the house will be there Saturday night. That's what up, Hardhead Garage. I see you. Penny of, oh, I was about to say penny. Plenty of pepper. Plenty of pepper. All the pepper in the world. Oh man, I don't know what's up. We're hitting some traffic in Virginia that it's like what? Isn't it like 2 or 3 in the afternoon? We shouldn't be. This ain't like no rush hour stuff. We should just be rocking and rolling. I was hoping. I mean, the trip ain't that far. Like I said, this is the closest racetrack probably that I will go to this year. Checking in from Delaware. Delaware, what's going on back there? Actually, I can tell you because I just left there. There ain't nothing going on in Delaware. We got a whole lot of it. A whole lot of it. A whole lot of nothing happening. Go rounds. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going any rounds, but because I don't have a car with me. But that'll be okay. Look, I think I was talking in some of the earlier videos, the stuff um, about exercising patience, and it's gonna be another one of them times. I gotta just exercise a little bit of patience. You know, my what's important here, what's important with this race. I'm throwing the race, so what is important there is me making sure that the folks that came to race and the folks that came to watch racing have the best time humanly possible. You know what I mean? And the attention and focus should not and is not on me racing myself. So with the car still needing some work, still highly untested. Like I said, we did new front coilovers, so we've got a good set of shocks on there, a set of double adjustable Vikings, um, and then Roxboro last weekend. Well, Roxboro is actually this weekend. I just went to Roxboro last weekend just to hand out flyers and promote, and I did the radio commercial and everything else. Safety third, get in line down and send it. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think safety wise, it's pretty okay, but there is some things that we have to do. I do have to do an alignment. Um, I've changed the ride height of the car a little bit, especially in the front. The front ride height has changed quite a bit. The front travel has changed, so the front alignment has changed. We gotta fix that up too. But all of these things are for the better. You know, all this stuff is just going to make the car better eventually. Hopefully, I hope so. Damn, because I'm telling you what. Yeah, okay, that's a stupid fucking comment. You guys like maybe you guys don't get this. Like, uh, I see a lot of these comments. Oh, you should race Billy. You should race Billy. You should race Billy. Like, I know you guys just watch YouTube videos and stuff, but like, you realize that he has a 540 cubic inch big block, twin turbo big block, um, in a chassis. Like, just based on pure math alone, like I should never live in the same vicinity as Billy. We're talking about something that's capable of probably 2,500 horsepower. And if that twin turbo 325 cubic inch LS small block makes 1100, 1200 horsepower, we're going to be pretty pleasantly happy with it. Like, there's no universe where that's a good race. Like, I can tell you guys what's going to happen. He's going to blow my doors off. Like, the I'll put it to you this way: where my Camaro comes in, and this is why I feel like I might be a step behind. Um, my Camaro is more like something to try to be competitive with, like his S10. If we're talking about in terms of power, weight, like what we're trying to do, like that kind of stuff. So I'm still a step behind. Like, I'm not anywhere near touching the Nova big block twin turbo. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen because there's a lot of cars that are coming out, or are out. I think Brandon Mork is like a twin turbo big block deal. You see a lot of guys that are now getting the no prep figured out and the chassis and everything else. Like, I don't know. That's going to be some stuff that's hard to compete with. Nick's new car or truck, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't be so sure about all that. The Nick's new truck is twin turbo, big block. You know, that's that's a lot in the back end. Like, that's a lot of ass you can give those things when you have a twin turbo big block. Um, a big block in itself is just going to make some good raw power and torque. If you can control it well, which I think that's what a lot of folks have been doing a very good job of lately, is a lot of folks have figured out the control aspect of it. Um, like I said, like Brandon Mork, Billy's obviously kicking ass. Nick, um, you know, they're hard to compete with. Kendall's still doing nitrous big block stuff, but I think a lot of folks are figuring out the control. 496 the 496 is sitting on an engine stand in my garage, and other than fixing it as is, uh, at very best, the 496 is a nitrous engine. Um, Ultimately, that's never going to make a good turbo engine. Um, Without, you know, that's a factory block deal. Like, if you want to make 2500 with a big block and that kind of stuff, like, you need to be aftermarket block. You need to have head bolts to hold the head. You know what I mean? You got to have extra head bolts. Uh, uh, 75K with twin turbo. Man, Ryan Mitchell is crazy. Ryan Mitchell is insane. But you guys also have to be careful. The Ryan Mitchell will swap from an LS to a big block in that car, like, in a day's time. Like, you can watch him race one weekend with the LS, and the next weekend it'll be big block. So, and I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Mitchell. Badass dude, incredible tuner, way smarter than I am. Has a chassis that he has super figured out and everything. That dude is very, very smart. He's very, very good at what he does. So, but even he knows that some races are going to require that extra ass and that extra torque and everything else, and he'll throw the big block in it. So, which is fucking awesome. Like, I hope I get to a point in my life where I'm like, oh, I got badass LS engine and badass big block, and you know what I mean? I could just swap them back and forth whenever I please for whatever surface I want to go race on. That's some life goals right there. We'll get there eventually. If I keep doing this stuff for, I don't know, however many years, things go well. I work hard. I eat my vegetables. Anything is possible. All on 28s as well. Yeah, the last race he just won, he entered like a 28 class, a 29.5 class, and then like a run what you bum class, and won them all. No, I think it's good. There's also, I think, something interesting going on in no prep racing right now where there are so many. Uh, Richard Holdner just did a okay. Let me explain something to you guys. When I say like the 496 is not going to make a good turbo motor, can I put a set of turbos on the 496 and make it run? Absolutely. Can I make it live on an engine dyno? Sure. Can it do that repeatedly, week in, week out, across the country? No. You know, it's Richard is incredibly smart, and I love what he does um, with with his videos and his knowledge and his and sharing the knowledge and giving you guys good, um, hard numbers and information and everything. But it's multifaceted. Just to say, because I think I actually it wasn't a video. It was actually an article. I found a magazine. I was reading a magazine article, and Richard Holdner did it. It was about. I think they put a GT45 on like a 454. That was nothing really special, like a 454 with some heads on it or something. And then they ended up taking the GT45 off and put a single 80 millimeter on it, which obviously worked a lot better. And at that point, that thing made like I want to say it was like 960 or 980. Now, this is something he could have done a million times. Like, I'm just talking about one specific article. One, it's not going to be enough, especially like somebody just commented, drivetrain loss, depending on what you're losing through the drivetrain, 960 ain't going to be enough. And on top of that, it's also, can you do it week in and week out and repeatedly? Now, there's a number of ways to do this, right? And there's a number of theories behind this. You good back there, Meatball? You good? Thumbs up? All right. So there's a number of ways to do this. And one of the ways is you can overbuild an engine, like build something super, super bad, you know what I mean? Everything that you think is going to handle the abuse and do very well. Tyler, yeah, that's a whole other thing. We'll get into that too. You can overbuild an engine like crazy, right? And the flip side, there's pluses and minuses to everything, right? A minus to that would be to build something like that, it's going to be incredibly expensive. I'm not sure if you guys even understand what some of these guys have in their engine setups alone. Like just the engine, the long block, um, is whew, is insane. Lost sound. Did I still lose sound, or did it like just kick out for a minute? So you can do that. You can build an engine, and you can spend a lot of money. Uh, well, perfect. Solve that problem. Um, and at that point, the negatives costs a lot of money to do that. It takes a lot. Another negative might be time. It especially in today's world climate, whatever, with parts availability, certain stuff, especially more higher end stuff. Um, oh, there's a crash ahead. That's why. Uh, time might be an issue. Now, benefits of is if you overbuild an engine and it does what it's supposed to do and it works and lasts long, that could be very, very beneficial. Um, so there's the plus and minus to that. Um, there's another theory. There's other ways to go. There's people that use junkyard LS engines, and you think to yourself, well, why would you do that? Well, this is the other end of the spectrum where they are incredibly cheap, very readily available. I can go and blow up an LS and I can go buy another complete long block for $500. I cannot go buy a complete 496 long block for $500. You know what I mean? I can't even buy a set of pistons for that thing for $500, or maybe a pistons, but not pistons and rods. Um, so there's pluses and minuses to that. Plus, readily available. A lot easier on the pockets. Parts are more readily available. Minus, um, yep, Junkyard LS truck motor. Ryan Mitchell used one, absolutely. Uh, stock 530 came in 85, made, yep. Availability is important these days. The downfall to that is you don't have an engine that is, um, that is built incredibly well. Like, not if you had gone out and spent some money on a nice, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 piece. Um, so there's a downside to that. And the downside may be, sometimes reliability. Some people have very good luck with them. I've known there's all kinds of stories all across the internet, all everywhere in the world. People, oh, I just LS engine and turboed it, and it's been living forever and happy and making all sorts of power and blah blah blah. And I've had people that had put an engine, you know what I mean, 04 GMC with a 6.0 for 300. Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you beat that? And that's my opinion. I think it's hard to beat when you can get race engines um, so cheaply and efficiently. But downside is you may not have, the strongest piece in the world. You may break. You may go through, buy a junkyard engine, put a bunch of parts into it, whatever, fire it up the first time to figure out that it was screwed from the start. You know, because you don't know sometimes. Like, if you like in the scenario, this guy here, he sold the truck with the 6.0 in it. That's a good purchase because then it's in the truck. You can hear it run. You can hear if it's knocking. You can hear if it's got lifter noises, or you can check the oil pressure or whatever. But right now in that market, the LS market, there's so many just junkyard LSs floating around in people's garages and junkyards and everything that have already been pulled, and you don't actually know. So that can come back to bite you in the ass. There is nothing, I wouldn't say that there is anything in the racing world that is, you know, perfect, like all thumbs up. There's good and bad with everything. You just have to decide what you're willing to do. 600 pass. Where the hell you get 600 passes from? I don't know that they've made 600 passes in that car. That's a little bit much, to be honest with you. But absolutely, that engine they have is a good one. Like, that is one of those, you do not let it go. You know what I mean? That thing is rocking and rolling. Never have issues with it. The oil pan in that thing has been off one time. One time the oil pan has been off of that thing, and I took it off. And that was because we were having uh, what we thought may have been a bottom end noise. That was actually when the trans was broken. So it's just one of them things. You know what I mean? That engine is, that thing is, I would like, I would do bad things to have that engine, because not only that, it's lasted super long, super, super long, like, without refresh. You know what I mean? Everything else. Um, so it's insane, and not every race engine is like that. You could buy. I could go out today, and if I bought, you know, let's just, for shits and giggles, I could go out and buy a brand new $50,000 engine, from a reputable race company. Reconnecting. Heard plenty of stories of guys being back of the engine shop, everything 1.5 million times, because their new piece has problems. So there's been bad to everything. Now somebody else mentioned suspension and chassis and stuff, and that is true. I've been doing a lot of research and stuff, and you know, looking for information and what pieces of information I can take from things and people much smarter than I and all that kind of stuff. I think you could do a lot better um, than you could do a lot better with a incredibly well built chassis and an okay motor combination than a super powerful engine. I don't know. It's give and take, because if you power can make up for flaws in chassis sometimes. Like, you can do that sometimes. Um, I don't know. Racing, that's the problem. Is racing is complicated. None of it is ever cut and dry, black and white. As much as we all wish that it was, that's not the case. Every car is different. Every engine is different. Every trans is different, regardless of if it's the same engine. You can put two of the same engines next to each other, and they don't always react, and they don't always work the same way. That's just the way that it goes. That's part of half of the fun, I think. Is That's part of the challenge. Constantly it's constantly a question of what does the car like. You know what I mean? Like, what does the car like? What does the chassis like? What does the engine like? What makes it happy? Because as much as SRC is a Junkyard LS, no, it's not. It's a Mike Lau deal. That's not a Junkyard LS. It might be. It's a factory block deal, but it's not a junkyard deal. Ryan Mitchell's absolutely junkyard truck motor. Ryan Mitchell's is, yeah. Yeah, we need methanol. Help others with a love for racing. Yeah, yeah. It's funny you say people worry about everybody else. I've spent more time in my live stream talking about other people, because that's everybody's worried about somebody else in the comments. Um, but we're just chilling. We're gonna get stuff figured out, and I'm gonna keep racing, enjoying my damn self, being happy, working on some cool projects along the way, doing what I can. That's it. This weekend, I'm gonna go down to Roxboro and throw a race. And my main focus is going to be making uh, all of the people that are at that racetrack the happiest that they can be, and make sure they have the best time they can make, or make sure they have the best time that they can have. So that's my goal and focus this weekend. Next week, when I get back, uh, we will focus on race cars again, and I got a lot of focus to do. What kind of 60 foot makes you happy, Matt? It depends on the surface, um, because some surfaces can, some surfaces a 160 foot makes me really happy. Some surfaces, 140. Some surfaces 120. I would. What would make me really happy? I would love to see that white Camaro um, on a very good surface. On a very good surface, I would like to see that white Camaro into the teens, or well, not the teens, into the 20s. Like, if we can get that white Camaro into the 20s, um, that would make me very, very happy. But that would have to be on a pretty good surface. Um, The El Camino. The El Camino is it's coming. We're just still collecting parts. I got Mallory at 355 for it. Teens, yeah, yeah. Teens was an accident. Really, it should be in the 20s. Um, I got Mallory at 355 for it, and uh, I still need a couple parts and pieces. I need to get a set of headers for it. I'm trying to think. He sold me the ignition system with the car, so I've got an MSD box. I have a distributor, or he sold me it with the engine, or traded, whatever. Um, and then I have to get, I got to get headers for it. I think I have motor mounts. I think I have a lot of the stuff I need. I think I have enough of what I need to put a fuel system together. I mean, obviously, ship box, I've got all that stuff. But as far as like the fuel pump and um, regulator, I think I've got a couple of those floating around for a carb, that whole thing. The guy, I got the carb that was on the engine running and driving. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of good stuff when I traded for that engine. So it's more so, you guys will see, like, if you don't notice right now, we have the garage at home, and that's it. So it makes it kind of hard to be able to do more than one thing at once. You know, prime example, like where the Camaro has been up on jack stands because of the ladder bars. Well, now uh, I can't work on anything else in the garage because the space is taken up. So we might we might have a solution for that. I don't know. We'll see. You guys will have to stay tuned for that. But I ain't getting no good surface in a while. No prep for everyone. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, allegedly, there's like a national glue shortage at racetracks. Um, so I don't know what's up with that. It's a raw materials thing, which I know to be true because uh, I know from being close with different folks in different industries and stuff. Like some people can't get oil, some people can't get the raw materials. You know what I mean? Man, I was trying to read that comment. Matt, your Derek slower than your truck, Liam, lasted a long time, and I think it was Junkyard, right? Yeah, yeah. Um, Derek's truck lasted a long time. It kinda got it. There may have been a reason I asked him to tune my stuff. Maybe because I was using similar engines of similar stature and I want to do similar things. Are you looking for a certain header or just a set for the Elko? I'm just looking for a set that fits. You know, something that's gonna fit it. I don't have. There's no like, oh, I need a certain brand or anything. Um, there, none of that. Just something that fits. Just because it's a junkyard motor doesn't mean it hasn't been. Oh, I love that. Just because it's a junkyard motor doesn't mean it hasn't been gone through and checked, built right, and put back together. No, you're absolutely wrong. That's what a junkyard motor is. You don't take apart a junkyard motor and put new bearings in it and go build it correctly. You know, uh, balance the rotating assembly and micrometer everything. And no, that's what a junkyard motor is. It's a junkyard motor. And you got to have the fastest race car to have fun. No, you're absolutely right. You ain't got to have the fastest race car to have fun. But if you guys know, have watched the channel at all for a decent amount of time, I've done a lot of traveling across the country, a lot of racing, and a lot of going out round one. And I've done a ton of racing for fun. And right now, I want to do some racing to be competitive. I'm not going to say win because winning is very hard, but I want to have fun being competitive. The ones we broke were from failures like pump and coil. Never broke them from power. Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing you spit sides or spit rods out the side of a block or anything. Not like a power thing. Ever been to Morgantown, West Virginia? I have not. I have nothing. I have not been to Morgantown, West Virginia. I don't know. Maybe I've driven through it or something. But I can't say that I've been there for like that kind of stuff. Ring gap. Yeah. Usually, at most, what gets touched on a junkyard engine is ring gap. That's about it. What's up with the big block? The big block is sitting on an engine stand along with my hopes and dreams. Um, the very long story short there was the big block was supposed to get swapped with a new big block, and that was getting built. And then it was going to be rebuilt and refreshed to be used as a backup engine. And because of parts issues and whatever, the other big block never ended up getting built, or if it is still getting built, it's not finished yet. And something that we were hoping would take a you know a few weeks has turned into months on end. And at this point, I just don't even care for it anymore because uh, not saying I don't care for the big block. Like the 496 is still cool. I'd like to get some parts and fix that thing up because it's definitely, I was going to say a cool little engine, but it's not a little engine. It's definitely a cool engine, and we can always find something to stick that thing in. But as far as racing it, I'm going to be, especially now that I felt turbos, I'm going to be hard pressed to to go, to go back to nitrous. The only way to go really back to nitrous um, is, with a big block, would have to be with a big block. Uh, and I say, when I say back to nitrous, I mean as far as like my A1 fastest competitive car that I have, I think is gonna be a turbo car. Now, that's not to say that if I, maybe I scrounge up some parts for the 496, I throw it back in fool's gold or something. We'll spray it, we'll have fun. But I also, it's not going to be the fastest, best car that I have. Ring gap, nope. Derek says miles or more using ethanol or methanol, leave the rings alone. I hate to argue with the man because he's gone a hell of a lot faster than I have. Wounded himself uh, and done it a lot longer. Like, you know what I mean? Engine lasts a lot longer. So, still come dig or die next weekend? Probably not. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. The car isn't ready. I could force it, I could wing it, but at that point, I'm just giving money away, and it's a lot of money. Like, that is an expensive trip. The buy-in for small tire alone is 500. Um, I just I think that money would be, honestly, that money would be better spent in more 5-gallon pails of fuel, more spark plugs, and more time testing. I have a I have a brand new set of tires. I have a brand new set of slicks for the car that haven't gone on it yet. I'm not sure when I'm going to put them on. It doesn't need it right now. Just right now, you know what I mean? The tires on it are still working, and we're not far enough into the car where, honestly, we've probably got to make, you know, who knows, 10 to 20 more passes before I feel like we're really chipping, start chipping away at it. I'd rather make those 10 to 20 passes on the tires that are on it now, and then once we get it, You know what I mean? Once we get it sorted a little bit better, then throw the new tires on. Don't hurt the car by running half-assed finish. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, there's I I I love that white Camaro so much. There's just and on a daily basis, I find new and wonderful things that are going on with that car that make me just absolutely thrilled and love the sport of drag racing and make me incredibly happy. Let me tell you about it. Oh, we got 10% on the headphones, which means that volume is probably going to go out soon. But no, the flip side is it's a race car, and every you know, it wouldn't be a race car if I could just get in it and fire it up and go race it every weekend and win races. Like that's just not the way it works. You know, you have to figure it out. Then once you start getting it figured out, then maybe things break and oh, what makes you happy? It's a process, but it's a journey. You know what I mean? And yeah, tell it. Oh man, I'll tell you right now. I took that thing off the trailer. Um, I took that thing off the trailer and put it back in the garage today, and some stuff happened, and I just looked at it. I should have threatened it. I should have threatened it. I'm I'm about this close to threatening that car with pulling everything out of it and pulling it in the Nova. Like anything that's good about that car, come out, put it in the Nova. I'm close to threatening it with that. Sometimes you got to. You got to talk nasty to them. You got to let them know who's boss. Hopefully, ready to hit the streets here soon. Hopefully, I think if all here's the thing. If I depending on what happens this weekend, like I said, there's a possibility that I could have an incredible weekend this weekend. You know, like I said, we could sell out of T-shirts this weekend. I could be like, you know what? Let's go to Dig or Die and let's just because the experience of Dig or Die, the race, the being there, the friends, the people, the everything is a great time as well. You know, it's possible, but what more than likely will happen is I'll come home next week and I will get to work on finishing up some stuff that needs to be finished up. I'll work on getting that front alignment squared away so that way I can feel comfortable of, doing 100 plus miles an hour in the thing and it's going to steer and it's going to go where I want it to go and all that kind of stuff. And then, hopefully next week be street testing and get it back on the street. I don't think we haven't, man, we are so far behind on this car. Like, I haven't put it on the street on a small tire yet. We haven't made a hit on the street in a small tire yet. Now that I think about it, we did big tire, we wheelied, we broke a bunch of shit, we fixed that. We went to the track. There was some stuff that needed fixing there. We went and raced it. I noticed that the bearings were given out, and that's probably a problem we've had since the beginning of owning that car and that engine in it and everything. And now I'm building ladder bars. Like, it's just a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work for 6.5 seconds of fun when you let go of the button. You know what I mean? It'd be like that sometimes. So, but yeah, I definitely want to get that thing out on the street on the small tire. Now we've got the front end on it. It's got headlights and tail lights, so that's good news. I've got all that hooked up. Poor motor did what it could do. Yeah, it could. This thing do what it could. You guys got a good junkyard down there? We've been doing some small buy-in cash days in Northern Maryland. Great chance to test. Absolutely, I would love to do. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that kind of stuff. Spend your time working on the car instead of doing other stuff. Absolutely, yeah. What's the rush? Take your time. It's all dialed in. That's when you'll feel the rush. Absolutely, absolutely. The rush is. I'll tell you guys this. There is a part of this, like, I have to provide good content. Um, but I was just talking to a buddy recently, and to be honest with you, the last months of content have been nothing but me building shit anyway. I haven't gotten to race because we just keep building shit and breaking shit. I mean, there's been a little bit of racing in between here and there and whatever, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that. But maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to focus on, uh, you know, on getting some building done and making some content out of that, and just jumping into races when we can. That'd be nice too. You know, needs a 6 liter. You think we should put a 6 liter in the white Camaro? I have one. Um, I have one. There's one sitting in the garage. It is very unknown. Very like, I don't know nothing about that thing, but I have one. We got a 6 liter. Derek, should I put the 6 liter in it? Shit, you got 160 motherfuckers riding in the car right now. 161 if you count Meatball. Meatball, do you want to say hi to the people? Meatball, do you want to say hi to the people? No? You're not feeling people person today? Yeah, Meatball's not feeling people person. Screwblower. Yeah, Screwblower be dope. I'll tell you guys here's what I was thinking, right? Oh, say hi to the people, Meatball. Oh, okay. Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking, since we got uh top fuel Screwblower, since we've got at least screw around for a little bit, I think we could do some stuff in between some stuff, and this will all make sense in probably a few more weeks for all you guys. Um, what we can do is throw the 6.0 in the Nova, and then I have an 80 millimeter turbo. I have piping. I have all kinds of stuff. I do need to get a TIG welder, but I've got all kinds of stuff. Maybe we can, not something like just try to rush and throw it together, but maybe we could do a couple videos. We'll throw the 6.0 in it. I'd like to throw an engine in it and make it run, just so it's easier to move the car. That's like, I would like to have the thing running just so I can drive it instead of having to push it everywhere. Would be nice. But I don't know. That's an idea I had. I'll do something like that. How's the driveway extension? The driveway extension is a screeching halt. Um, I will explain some of this stuff, probably a little bit more in depth in a future video that I have planned. And then that's why I'm not going to jump too deep into it, because I don't want to give away the video. But I've been having some issues with, I don't even want to say nosy neighbors, because I'm not even sure that the people are actually neighbors. But I've been having some issues with the county, and yeah, code enforcement sucks. It's I've been having some issues with the county, unrelated to the driveway expansion, but related to the purpose of the driveway expansion and everything. So that project has come to a screeching halt, and to be honest with you, I don't even know. I mean, I'll probably end up buying more rock and stuff, but that's not going to go the way that I had planned it. Um, Thanks to the fine folks who cannot mind their own business and really feel the need to be involved in what it is that I do in my house. So I'd like to thank those people, very much. If I knew who they were, I would love to go over and just, sit at their dinner table. So maybe I can go get involved in their life. HOA. No, I live out in the country. We got chicken houses. There's no HOA. We just got the county is all we got. But yeah, I'd love to sit down at their dinner table and, intrude myself into their daily life and what they do. but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. So, hey, see you about down, people. If you want to say hi, I'll put the camera up. You can wave. Say hi. But it's cool kicking it with y'all. I've accomplished my goal because my goal of this video was to like kill an hour of the trip. So we managed to kill an hour of the trip. I'll try, just for the heck of it, I'll try and pull these AirPods out and see if the sound automatically switches over and you guys can still hear me. If it doesn't, then that's going to be the end of the video. We're just going to call it a day because they're about dead. But we'll see. We'll see if you guys can still hear me and if all that's good to go. I know it'd be a little louder probably without the AirPods. A wild meatball has appeared. Yes, a very wild meatball with Sprite. We went to McDonald's and I got like cheeseburger. Oh yeah, that is my miniature. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. No DNA test needed. But I went to McDonald's. You know, we hit the drive-through, a little food on the road, and got a cheeseburger meal. And then I got myself a large Sprite. But with the cheeseburger meal, they also gave another large Sprite. So Meatball has the biggest soda she has ever had in her life. Because normally the kids don't drink soda. It's, you know, they'll drink like water or juice or something else. You know, Mallory drinks nothing but water, coffee. Every rare, very, very, very rare blue moon, you know what I mean? She'll enjoy a good Dr. Pepper, which I could go for a good Dr. Pepper right now. Ice cold in a can. Yeah. But the kids usually don't get soda. But right now, Meatball, how big is your Sprite? Oh, there it is. Meatball's got the biggest Sprite she's ever had in her life. So this is quite possibly the best trip ever. But yeah, man. So I'm happy. We killed an hour of this trip. I still have got a few more to go. It's a two-hander for sure. It's definitely a two-handed Sprite. So I ain't mad at it. But I've kind of talked to you guys. Ooh, White Castle. We don't have White Castle. So we don't have White Castle in Delaware. There isn't a single White Castle. That's why, like, you guys, like, people would laugh and shit when I would go to Ohio and I'd go to White Castle and I'd make such a big deal about it. And I'd be like, what's the big deal? I'd be like, you guys don't understand. I don't have White Castle. We don't have it. We don't have it in Delaware. We don't have it in Maryland. We don't have it anywhere near us. So the only time I get White Castle is when I take road trips. But enjoy the dad time. Yeah, I am. Meatball and I had dinner together last night. Right, Meatball? What we had for dinner last night? No, you don't want to say? All right. We had steak and potatoes. I had White Castle in 25 years. Yeah. Shoo! Tyler, believe me, I wish I could. I wish I could get a twin turbo big block, O-ring it, everything else. But, you know, right now, it's just not in the cards for you, boy. If I could, no BS, if I could sell the RV right now, because the RV is, it's just a toy, like the race cars, right? Like that is not a something that I absolutely have to have. Don't get me wrong, having the RV is super, super nice. But if I could sell one of the toys or something, like if I could sell the RV, I would absolutely take that money and buy an engine, like something badass, if I could, or whatever the case may be. But come from a lot of toys right now. I have the Nova. Do they sell frozen white? Yeah, they do sell the frozen white ones with the White Castle burgers, but they're really not that good. Don't get me wrong, it's okay, but You know what I mean? You get that fresh out White Castle. That's the winner. But Nova, we got Pyrite, the white Camaro. I got the Brooklyn Dodger, which the Brooklyn Dodger at this point is just, I literally am just keeping it for the sentimental value. It is a complete and total pile of shit, and I don't ever intend on really doing anything with it, you know, other than it's just good to have around. Like, maybe if one day like a badass burnout contest pops up or something and we want to throw it together for that, it's good for that kind of shit. But that, I'm keeping that for sentimental value. And then, if you guys don't know or don't remember, I have the POMOD too. I still have the POMOD, and I would really, I honestly think the POMOD is the absolute, I'd be willing to say that is the absolute best chassis that I have. It is, that's what we should do. We should take everything out of the white one and put it in the POMOD. I didn't just say that. You guys didn't hear me just say that. But it's the best chassis I have. It is, it's chromoly. What motor's in the RV? It's a Triton V10. It's a Ford deal, so we ain't using that for nothing. But the POMOD is, I want to say it's 25 something, but it's chromoly, you know, 4-link, super nice. It has factory front frame rail. All the 25 stuff starts behind the factory front frame rail, factory firewall, factory floor. So it should meet a lot of rules in the future. And that was also part of the reason why I got the white Camaro, why I got Pyrite, because I had thought about that it could be possible in the future that we take, you know, parts of the white Camaro to build the POMOD, because I think that is the best chassis I have, I believe. Sounds like a busy winter. Absolutely. Poker Mike, what's up? Yeah, I'm rolling. We rolling to the racetrack. Have a great weekend. Wish you could be there. I wish you guys could be there too. Trust me, it'd be a whole hell of a lot cooler to be at the racetrack with a bunch of people that watch the YouTube channel. Do it. William Wilson, do it. I probably should. I'll tell you this. How about this, right? You'll be a digger die. Unfortunately, I won't be a digger die. How about what we do is, hold on. Let me be easy. Number one. How about what we do is we slowly chip away at the POMOD, because there's a bunch of stuff that would have to be done before we could swap all of the parts over from one Camaro to another. So we'll chip away at it. We'll do some stuff to the POMOD over time. And then when we're ready, I'll pull the trigger. I'll swap a bunch of the stuff over to the POMOD and all that. Because honestly, I could set a motor in place. I could set the trans. I could do the motor plate, the mid plate. I could build a turbo kit. There's a whole lot of stuff that I could do to that car right now, just because it's, you know what I mean, I've got it and it's there. We still have to do the back half, because right now the back, it's got 9-inch. It just has a bare 9-inch housing with like the 4-link tacked to it. I'd probably want to do a new 4-link. Would likely hit up the guys at Tin Soldier. Awesome dudes, awesome guys, and save up for a Tin Soldier's rear end. We actually talked about that. I'm gonna hit Jason up. I'm gonna ask him what would be better what would be better for our budget and what we got going on and what we want to do and everything else. Would it be better to have them build us an 8.8 for that car, or send my 9-inch housing in, or just sell the 9-inch housing, have them build a 9-inch or whatever? I'll talk to them about it. Cheers from Canada. Canada, eh? Eh? You know, I've been watching a show about Canada. Some popped up on Netflix here recently. That Rust Valley Restorers, which is, you know, historically speaking, not the greatest car building show in the world, but something about it I just can't shut it off. I've been watching the heck out of some Rust Valley Restorers. South Florida. Oh, I gotta switch hands on this. Yeah, take a large fortune and go racing. Yeah, true story. It's entertaining. Well, I think part of it too is that there's some similarities of the main guy of the Rust Valley Restorers, the long-haired hippie dude, glasses. There's some similarities between him and I. So I think maybe that's why I enjoy watching it. Meatball, what are you making faces back there for? I can see you. If you're gonna make faces, you can at least talk to the people. You can at least say hi. I love Rust Valley Restorers. Yeah, it's like I said, historically speaking, traditionally speaking, not the best car build show ever. Like last night, I watched an episode, and half the episode was on a farm chasing sheep. But yeah, somebody said from Canada reminded me of them, because like the dude, the short chubby dude, he's always like, hey, and he just says shit weird. That's part of the reason I watch it too, I think, because he just, some of the like regular words he just says them weird as fuck. They have a weird enunciation to them. Might get a bunch of old classic muscle cars myself. I mean, I do. I've come to that point in my life where I do. Can't stand Avery's laugh. Oh man, it's yeah, Avery's laugh is something else. You know, believe it or not, maybe it's the Rust Valley Restorers. There's some old Mopars that I've been looking. Goodness, but you know, some of them old Mopars, pretty cool looking deal. They had I think one of the episodes I just watched, they had sold a purple Cuda, and maybe it was the purple about it. I don't know. I feel like Mopars belong purple. I feel like that's right. You know, purple Nova, but I feel like a purple classic Mopar is more right down the line. I wouldn't mind having one of those. I wouldn't mind. Not a race car, just as something to cruise, but you know, I also like want a 50s, 60s slammed truck. Well, I have a 50s, 60s slammed truck, but it's whatchamacallit, it's all torn to bits and whatnot from being abused and crashed into cop cars and that kind of stuff. But I would love to have one as a cruiser, you know, something bagged, real slammed to the ground, and I would love to do it. I've never bagged a vehicle, and I would love to do it. I think it would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be a good time, and I'd love to have one of those. So, and the trucks are not, you know, super hard. Tell me you can't go across the imaginary line, yeah. I mean, it'd be like that sometimes. Well, look, guys, I'm gonna jump off here because we've been on this road for quite a while now, so I want to make sure I'm not missing any GPS directions, because that would really suck. Let me see. Yeah, it won't let me open the GPS thing while I'm live. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. I just wanted to give you a little update. Don't forget that if you're in the area of Roxboro Motorsports Park this weekend, we will be there. Shitbox No Prep Series presented by Hot Shot Seeker. We're going to be in the house. Friday night, Snake Eater Shakedown. 500 to win, no buy-in. Also, pizza with the king. No money. Keep the money in your pocket. Just show up at the booth and eat yourself some pizza with the king. Should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. The weather has been back and forth a million times. Every hour on the hour it changes. There might be percentages of precipitation or something. I don't know. At this point, we're pot committed. We're already, you know, Mallory's already there. Kyle from Hot Shots is on his way there. I'm on my way there. We're going, and no matter what, I can guarantee you one thing: there's going to be a whole lot of pizzas that show up tomorrow night, and I'm going to be eating them, and I'm going to be flagging some races. We're going to be having ourselves a good time, whatever the weekend brings at us. So hopefully, if you guys are in the area, I'll see you there. If not, don't worry. I'm going to try to get, we don't have my brother this weekend, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get Mallory to film, so that way we can put out a video for you guys from the weekend and just coverage of the race and that kind of stuff. So I'll see you guys later. I get back on the road while I'm on the road, but I also need to stop. I need like a Loves or something. I need like some candy, some little something, and we need some gas too. We're under a quarter tank now, so let's make it happen. I'll see you guys this weekend. Hopefully we'll make some videos, and there'll be some new videos out next week. And we go back to work on Pyrite and put myself through agony once again. Love you guys.